Hey, how's it going, guys? My name is Cal Dermody. Today I'm going to be making a video showing you the installation as well as a review on Tesla Model 3Y fishbone taillight reflectors, as well as the TesStudio Night Rider full width strip taillight. So let's dive right into the unboxing as well as the installation, followed by a review. A warning before the video starts, my full strip taillight ended up being faulty and defective, so I don't get to show the full installation of that, but I get everything except for the mounting. Bear with me, and I apologize. Unboxing went super smooth. Unfortunately, the box was a little bit damaged. Everything was just kind of loose inside, but there was nothing wrong with it other than just the damage. Everything seemed very high quality. Definitely good plastic, and nothing was out of the ordinary, bad, anything of that nature. Came with some zip ties, as well as some weird little things. Plugs to create your own plugs, and then all the associated wires and harnesses. Preparation. To prep, I put everything out on a table, and I wired it up outside of the car so that I could visualize everything before it went into the car. You have to wire up your own plugs. Do this once you put the wires in the car, as some of them won't fit into the areas that you're trying to move them. Here you can see an outline of my general process. Every single little thing is labeled. We'll go through it step by step, referencing this diagram throughout our whole install process. Installation. To start, unscrew your license plate as well as your license plate cover. Begin by unclipping the upper trim panel inside of your boot. Then remove both clips from behind the upper trim to release the lower trim panel. Pull this out, there's a couple of clips throughout it. Don't use too much force because you don't want it to break. As well, you have to unclip the light before you pull it all the way down. You don't want to break this wire. Once you unclip the light, then you can begin removing the bracket to unplug the camera and the tag light. You can try to reach it, but you won't be able to. Pull it off to the side and then unplug the two plugs. It might be 3 plugs. Plug all the plugs that are back. Now you can go ahead and unpry your camera as well as the tag lights from the other side of your rear trunk lid. Careful not to scratch your paint, it's very easy to do. Next, use your pry tool to unclip the trim by the left rear light in your trunk. This is where you'll hook up the wiring harness. Unclip the OEM plug from the taillight and then plug your wiring harness in. This is the first step to plugging in your lights. This wiring harness will connect up to the reflector lights as well as the extender that goes all the way to your cross light. Next, you can plug the orange wire into the yellow power terminal of the gray plug, as shown in the photo. Push it in, you're basically good to go. That's all you need to do with it. Tuck the wires back into the trim, and then you can continue on by running the extender cable for the cross light through the weather stripping. I actually recommend here that you don't run it through the weather stripping yet, and that you actually run it through the grommet at the top before you run it through the weather stripping. Start by removing the rubber grommet between the trunk lid and the roof of your car. Next step is to pull the headliner down and run the fish wire through to get your extender cable from the trunk lid through into your car. There's a metal hole that you can pull it through with no problem. Make sure to check the length of the wire to ensure that you'll be able to reach your device. Now you can run your wire through the weather stripping. Next step is to attach the second wiring harness to the other light. Once you plug it in, you can now run the yellow wire from the right second wiring harness to the left first wiring harness along the weather stripping, same place that you ran the extender cable. Plug the yellow wire into the wiring harness. And your next step is to hide all that yellow wiring into the weather stripping. Now you can use the pry tool to pry the reflector off of the Tesla, followed by adding and checking the fitment of the new light. Next, you can pull the rear trunk latch trim from the car. This can just be pulled right off. Next, pull the 2 clips from each side of the trunk, as shown in the video. Here you'll need a socket that's 5x16. Use this socket to unscrew 2 bolts for the taillight that hold it into place. You'll also need to unpry this top bolt that holds the taillight into place as well. Gently pull the taillight from the housing of the car. Keep in mind though that this was actually difficult and required quite a bit of force. You want to pull it directly straight forward and be careful using the pry tool, you'll mess your paint up. Next step is to unscrew the bolt holding the top of the bumper onto the rear of the vehicle. The next step after that is to use a screwdriver to unclip the rear clips from the frame of the vehicle. Now you can drill out a hole for the reflector light wiring and the fish line from down where you're going to put the lights. Run the fish line directly through the hole, directly up into the bumper. Run through the taillight opening into the cabin with the wiring. Next step is to check the fitment of your light and then attach the wiring to the fish line. Pull the wire up through the bumper into the rear taillight hole. I used a cloth to help hold the bumper in place and not mess my arm up. The metal hurt. Make sure to plug the unit in and test it before putting the trim and the bumper back into place. If it works flawlessly, you are good to go and put it into place. Now, clip the rear reflector light into place where the reflector was before. Make sure that they both work correctly. Your next step is to put the bumper back together by putting the clips back into place, as well as putting your light into place, and ensure that all the wiring is connected. Now you can put your trim panels back together, and ensure that all of your trim is put back in the right place and that everything looks correct. This took a little bit of time and nuance, and just a little bit of finesse. Some of this stuff kind of sags a little bit more. This is where you would add the cross light. You'd plug it into the extender wire and attach it up to those lights underneath your tail lights, between your camera module as well as your reflector lights. Unfortunately, I didn't get to do this, although the steps are very easy and I can put a link in the description on how to do this. So after installing, it's been a couple weeks since I've had it, and it has had basically 0 issues. Nothing else has these, and not many people know this product, so it's definitely something that looks flashy that's cool. The full strip would definitely make it way more unique, but unfortunately mine is still broken, so it won't work. I was super impressed with the durability of the lights. They're super high quality plastic, and you can tell it's just like an OEM part. And as you can see from this video, the strip taillight effect is super sick. I definitely recommend that you get both of these. This is high quality stuff, and I'm actually surprised at how easy it was. I thought it was gonna be super hard at first. All that it took was a little extra nuance on putting the wires together in the right way. But if you follow this guide to a perfect cue, you'll be able to do it as well. So I appreciate you guys watching. Thank you so much. If you wanna pimp out your Tesla, go to TesStudio and use my code MODTESLA to get 30% off your order until Prime Day is over. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you so much and have a good rest of your day. Peace.